recognize that we have a quorum. Committee members, Councilman Greenlee, Councilman O, Council President appointed Councilman Taltenberger, and Councilman Johnson to join us on today's committee hearing. Clerk, would you please read the title of the bills?
Bill number 170877, an ordinance amending Chapter 16300 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Maintenance and Supervision by authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to promulgate regulations prohibiting city employees from possessing certain symbols, materials, and objects in city-owned or city-occupied facilities, all under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 170991, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the city to enter into a lease agreement with EB Realty Management for the use by the city of all or a portion of the premises located at 667 North Broad Street under certain terms and conditions. And Bill number 170994, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the city to enter into an agreement to an existing lease agreement, enter into an amendment to an existing lease agreement with Washington Service Corporation for the use by the city of all of or a portion of the premises located at 8747 Frankfurt Avenue under certain terms and conditions. And Bill number 170999, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the city to enter into a lease with an option to purchase with Ujima Community Transformation Partners, LLC, for use and or purchase by the city of all or a portion of the premises located at 6750 Lindbergh Boulevard under certain terms and conditions. And Bill number 171000, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the city to enter into a lease agreement with St. Agnes MOB LLC for use by the city of all or a portion of the premises located at 1930 South Broad Street under certain terms and conditions. And Bill number 171011, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the city to enter into an agreement to enter into an amendment to an existing lease agreement with the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority for use by the city of all or a portion of the premises located at 1234 Market Street under certain terms and conditions. And finally, Bill number 171015, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the city of Philadelphia to acquire by purchase, condemnation, or otherwise title in some or all of the parcels of land together with the improvements thereon, commonly known as 4301, 4303, and 4305 Germantown Avenue, under certain terms and conditions.
Thank you. First, we will hear Bill number 171015. If there's anybody from the Administration of Parks and Recreation, would you please approach the desk and state your name for the record, and you may proceed with your testimony.
Aparna Palantino. Good morning, Chairman Heenan and members of the Committee on Public Property and Public Works. My name is Aparna Palantino, and I'm Deputy Commissioner for the Department of Parks and Recreation. I'm here today to testify in support of Bill number 171015, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the City of Philadelphia to acquire by purchase, condemnation, or otherwise title in some or all of the parcels of land together with the improvements thereon, commonly known as 4301, 4303, and 4305 Germantown Avenue, under certain terms and conditions. This ordinance will enable the City of Philadelphia to acquire, at a nominal fee, a parcel of property currently residing in the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority's inventory. The parcel in question is the current home of Nicetown Park, located in the 8th Council District. Councilwoman Bass is providing some capital funding for renovations to the park, specifically for new play equipment and safety matting. The transfer of this property to the city will enable the use of ITEV funding for the proposed improvements. The Department of Parks and Recreation supports this measure, and accordingly, I respectfully request that City Council approve Bill number 171015. I'm also requesting suspension of the rules so as to allow for first reading at the next session of Council. Thank you. I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Well, thank you for your testimony. Anyone on the committee wish to ask any questions regarding Bill number 171015? Anyone here today that's joining us wishes to speak on Bill number 171015? With that being done, thank you so much for your testimony.
Thank you.
We will now hear Bill number 170991. Anybody from Public Property Administration wishes to testify please approach, state your name for the record, and you may proceed with your testimony.
Good morning, Chairman Heenan and members of the Committee on Public Property and Public Works. My name is Bridget Collins Greenwald, and I am the Commissioner of the Department of Public Property. I'm here today to testify in support of Bill Number 170991, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to enter into a lease agreement with EB Realty Management for use by the city of a portion of the premises located at 667 North Broad Street under certain terms and conditions. This property will utilize 17,200 square feet and be used to relocate an L&I district office, a streets department highway and survey unit, the fire EAP employee assistance program. The Department of Public Property, working in conjunction with the District Council President's Office, did an extensive search for a location that would create or continue to create high social impact on a neighborhood while offering an ideal location for our customers at an affordable rate. The historic Studebaker building on North Broad Street proved to be the perfect location. The building will be turned over to the city in turnkey fashion with an allowance of brand-new modern furniture, fixtures, and of equipment of up to $100,000. The space also comes with 25 covered parking spaces, which is included in the rent. After being in space that has not been upgraded for a number of years due to the long-term structure of the former lease, DPP is able to fulfill our mission of responsibly serving the city's workforce and community by providing quality facilities and workplaces, of which we are proud, in this new space at the Studebaker building. The annual base cost of this lease will be $353,976, and annual savings of $298,397 from our existing lease for these particular departments. Overall, moving out of the current locations where these departments are housed, DPP was able to move a significant amount of departments into city-owned space, which will save the city overall a total annual cost of $1.3 million. The Department of Public Property supports this measure, and accordingly, I respectfully ask that City Council approve Bill Number 170991. I am requesting a suspension of the rules as to allow for the first reading at the next session of council. Thank you. I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Question, what's the term of the lease, the length?
The length of the lease is 10 years.
10-year lease, and we're saving over $1 million by the consolidation.
Yes, we'll be moving.
Other offices that have been displaced?
We'll be consolidating, and we're actually moving some of the offices that we have in from lease space into owned space, too. In conjunction, it's kind of like a domino move, a whole bunch of different moves at one time.
And I think this building has been vacant for some time, so we're actually occupying some space, is that correct?
Yep.
That has been otherwise, vacant and eyesore in an up-and-coming and
I don't know
emerging neighborhood.
about eyesore, but I would say it was vacant.
Eyesore, but I'm just saying, so it was vacant.
Yes,
So we're occupying a vacant building.
yes.
All right, in an emerging neighborhood.
There's currently what? Oh, okay. There is currently one other occupant in the building. Sorry. So it's not completely vacant.
Okay, great. I don't have any other questions. Any other questions from members of the committee? Anyone here that wishes to testify on Bill Number 170991? That being none, Commissioner, I have a request because of some people who are going to testify that need to leave, so we're going to go out of order. So I'm going to hear another bill first and then come back to you guys. So we're going to hear Bill Number 170877. Is there anyone here for the Administration, Mayor's Office of Human Relations or Labor Relations? Please approach. State your name for the testimony
William
or for the
Twardzik.
record, and then you may proceed with your testimony.
Yes, I'm William Twardzik, Deputy Director at the Mayor's Office of Labor Relations. Good morning, Councilman Heenan and members of the committee. My name is William Twardzik. I am the Deputy Director of the Employee Relations Unit at the Mayor's Office of Labor Relations. I am joined by Monica Marchetti-Brock, Director of the Mayor's Office of Labor Relations, and Pedro Rodriguez, Director of the Office of Human Resources for the city. Thank you for inviting me to testify regarding Bill 170877 as proposed to be amended. which would authorize regulations to prohibit city employees from possessing certain symbols, materials, and objects in city-owned or city-occupied facilities. The role of the Employee Relations Unit at the Mayor's Office of Labor Relations is the implementation of the city's equal employment opportunity policy for the administration. As an employer, the City of Philadelphia is committed to providing a work environment for all employees that is free from harassment and discrimination. And it is consistent with both the spirit and the letter of all federal, state, and local employment laws. The administration supports the legislative intent and goals of the bill and recognizes that the goals mirror the same objectives of the city's EEO policy, and the proposed remedies parallel established protocols to investigate and resolve claims. It is against the city's policy to engage in verbal, nonverbal, or physical conduct that denigrates or shows hostility or aversion toward an individual because of his or her race, color, gender, national origin, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, age, disability, or other protected categories. When such conduct has the purpose or effect of creating an intimidating, hostile, humiliating, or offensive work environment, or when such conduct has the purpose or effect of unreasonably interfering with an individual's work performance or otherwise adversely affects an individual's employment opportunity. To that end, the city establishes a fundamental standard of conduct that employees are to conduct themselves in a professional manner and to treat coworkers with dignity, respect, and in a manner that is not offensive. Depending on circumstances, the following conduct may constitute discriminatory harassment: slurs, negative stereotyping, jokes, threatening, intimidating, or hostile acts that relate to protected categories included but not limited to race, color, gender, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, age, disability, or graphic or written materials that denigrates or show hostility toward an individual or group because of protected categories including, but not limited to race, color, gender, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, age, national origin, or disability, and when that written or graphic material is circulated in the workplace or placed anywhere in city premises, such as an employee's desk or workspace, or on city equipment or bulletin boards. As proposed to be amended, this bill would be directed at prohibiting symbols, materials, objects, and characterizations which one knows or has reasonable grounds to know arouses anger, alarm, and resentment in others on the basis of race, color, creed, religion, national origin, gender, and sexual orientation in city workplaces. To put it simply, we agree. We support the bill not only as consistent with bedrock laws and principles for the workplace, but as a statement of what is right. We will continue to enforce these policies and laws and to maintain an atmosphere of respect and dignity in our workplace. Thank you to the chair, the members, and the sponsors for the opportunity to testify this morning. My colleagues and I are happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you for your testimony. Anyone on the committee wish to ask any questions? Chair recognizes Councilman O.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I just do have some questions. In terms of like First Amendment issues, I'm assuming that all this stuff has been cleared and in other workplaces, employers, government offices, that they have dealt with the First Amendment issues?
We work closely with the Labor and Employment Group in the Law Department, so if we ever have questions, we will raise it with the attorneys in that unit as well.
So, for example, someone has a Confederate flag up. Is that a symbol that would be taken down or not? Or you're not sure?
At this time, I would say that it is something that needs to be looked into, and taking all factors into consideration, we would also consult, again, with the labor and employment law with regards to those competing interests under the law with respect to meeting the spirit of this bill, but also balancing those constitutional rights as under First Amendment. Those will go more toward those areas of law that, again, we would consult directly with the law department, respecting the rights and competing interests of the individuals.
Oh, okay, I'm just expressing my concern. Someone has a swastika up, someone has a picture of a Black Panther with a machine gun, someone's got a, Stonewall Jackson on the wall. Those are kind of challenging issues for someone, I suppose. If you do one, do you do the other? But, I suppose we're going to move forward, and we'll see how it works out.
Absolutely. Well, part of that, I think what the bill is that it also allows a venue for these issues to be addressed in the context, again, what are the competing interests, but also with respect to the spirit of this is to maintain an environment that is free from hostility and discrimination. And in some of these instances, some of these symbols might in and of themselves speak for themselves.
Have we had a policy before where there's like a department to department? Is this completely new, or is this just a codification or an ordinance that kind of makes it universal in the city? What is new about this ordinance?
This particular bill would run parallel with the current city policies that are in place, so we think it would go hand in hand and help us enforce that as well. Each department, or I should say some departments, may have additional policies that go along with the overall citywide policies, but they have to at least follow the city policy. They can always add to
There would be
it.
more of a uniformity throughout the city is what I'm understanding.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we're codifying the practices that the departments are using in concert with the Human Relations Committee currently, is that correct?
That's correct.
And this is pertaining to city employees on public property, is that correct?
That's correct.
And when there is an issue that may arise, or if it arises, right, there is a process in which you get a legal opinion to see if it is intent, if the intention is freedom of speech and/or really misinterpreting the spirit of the city of Philadelphia as a government body, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I don't have any further questions. Is there anyone here that wishes to testify on 170877? And I just want to remind everybody that an amendment has been circulated to all members as noted in its testimony, and we'll be voting on the amendment as well in its public meeting. All right, so thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will now continue on with our public property bills, 170994. Commissioner, if you have testimony on that, you may state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony.
Good morning, Chairman Heenan and members of the Committee on Public Property and Public Works. My name is Bridget Collins Greenwald, and I'm the Commissioner of the Department of Public Property. I'm here today to testify in support of Bill Number 170994, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to enter into an amendment to an existing lease agreement with Washington Services Corporation for use by the city of all or a portion of the premises located at 8747 Frankfurt Ave, under certain terms and conditions. This property is approximately 1,200 square feet and will be used as office space for the Community Life Improvement Program, also known as CLIP. CLIP's location on the cusp of Council Districts 6 and 10 has served as a staple of its northeast neighborhood since the program's inception. It is a highly recognizable location with ample parking for citizens needing to put in exterior code violation, graffiti, and vacant lot cleanup service requests. The base rent is $14.31 per square foot with 2.5% biennial increases. The rent is less than the comparable rent costs in the area, and the escalation is less than the industry standard of 3% annually. The landlord has also agreed to a refurbishment allowance that includes replacing carpet and painting throughout. The Department of Public Property supports this measure, and accordingly, I respectfully ask that City Council approve Bill Number 170994. I am requesting a suspension of the rules to allow for the first reading at the next session of council. Thank you. I will answer any questions you may have.
No, thank you. More of a statement. I'm glad you're not consolidating CLIP somewhere else. I think the residents of Northeast Philadelphia has become quite familiar on their location, and it has a lot of traction, and it's a real asset to Northeast Philadelphia.
Totally agree.
Anybody on the committee have any questions on Bill number 170994? Anyone here wishes to testify on Bill number 170994? Being none, Commissioner, you may begin with the next bill, 170999.
Good morning, Chairman Heenan and members of the Committee on Public Property and Public Works. My name is Bridget Collins Greenwald, and I'm the Commissioner of the Department of Public Property. I'm here today to testify in support of Bill Number 170999, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to enter into a lease agreement with an option to purchase with Ujima Community Transformation Partners, LLC, for use and/or purchase by the city of all or a portion of the premises located at 6750 Lindbergh Boulevard under certain terms and conditions. This property is approximately 15,500 square feet and will be used as an operations center for the Office of Innovation and Technology, radio and communications staff, as well as storage space for the communications equipment and for parking of vehicles and large pieces of communications equipment. The location of the property is ideal and the space perfectly suited for OIT communication operations. The landlord is providing new modern fitted-out space to replace space that has not been upgraded in many years. The relocation of the OIT staff and operations from its current space at 11th and Reed Streets will allow the city to sell the 11th and Reed property under competitive process. This location is in the process of being placed into the market so the city can capitalize on the highest and best use of that parcel for the benefit of the neighborhood. The base rent is $175,000 annually, which equates to $11.29 per square foot. The 10% rent increase after 5 years is less than the market standard rate of 3% annually. The landlord will provide the space turnkey and furnished. The Department of Public Property supports this measure, and accordingly, I respectfully ask that City Council approve Bill Number 170999. I am requesting a suspension of the rules as to allow for the first reading at the next session of council. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Well, thank you, Commissioner. Just one quick question. 11th Reed is a kind of a hot neighborhood right now, and
Yep.
I'm glad we're going to have more space for our OIT as that staff grows and the equipment that we're using out in our communities. So over the term of the lease on Lindbergh Avenue compared to the selling off of the asset, our return on our investment is going to be
Substantial.
substantial, correct? Okay. Anyone on the committee have any questions on Bill Number 170999? Anyone here wishes to testify on 170999? And we do have an amendment for this bill that has been circulated to all members, and they're technical in nature, but it has been circulated, and we'll be voting on that in our public meeting. Thank you. That being none, Commissioner, Bill Number 17100 and 171011.
Good morning, Chairman Heenan and members of the Committee on Public Property and Public Works. My name is Bridget Collins Greenwald, and I'm the Commissioner of the Department of Public Property. I'm here today to testify in support of Bill Number 171000, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to enter into a lease agreement with St. Agnes MOB LLC for use by the city for a portion of the premises located at 1930 South Broad Street, referenced as the Constitution Health Center, under certain terms and conditions. The portion of the space the Health Department will be leasing is approximately 19,312 square feet in the Constitution Health Center and will be used as clinical space, which is now known as Health Center 1. This space is an ideal location for Health Center 1, which is mandated to be located within a specific geographic area within proximity to a central transportation hub. The space already has plumbing in place for the number of exam rooms needed to service patients, and the remainder of the space will be fitted out turnkey with medical and office furniture to accommodate the health center's needs as a clinic. The estimated value of the turnkey with furniture provided is $145.23 per square foot, which equates to approximately $2.8 million investment on behalf of the landlord. This opportunity saves the Health Department from requesting additional expenses from the general fund to purchase equipment and furniture, and allows the city's resources to be better allocated to other needs of the department. The current Health Center 1 is in subpar condition. The Health Department needs $6.7 million in capital improvements just to meet the minimum requirements in HVAC, roof, and electrical demands for the clinic, not including the additional renovations to get it into the state of good repair. With this intended move of the current health center and future moves of the rest of the administrative health staff, the city has initiated a competitive request for qualifications to capitalize on the location at 500 South Broad. The market has responded favorably to this opportunity, and we continue to move forward with the RFP for this site location. The base rent for the Constitution Health Center is $536,733 annually, with no increases for 5 years. Increases are 10% every 5 years, which is less than the market standard of 3% annually. The city was able to leverage several cost savings and benefits in this negotiation. This site is a premier health location in Councilman Kenyatta Johnson's district and is seen as a valuable resource. Its location is easy accessible to the Broad Street subway line as well as numerous bus routes, and there's ample parking on site. The Department of Public Property supports this measure, and accordingly, I respectfully ask that City Council approve Bill Number 171000. I'm requesting a suspension of the rules as to allow for the first reading at the next session of council. Thank you. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Commissioner. I assume this is a similar situation where moving from a temporary to a permanent and having our assets be competitively bid will have a substantial return on our investment?
Yes, same
All right,
deal
and
as the last one.
The temporary facility that we're in at the Health Center 1, moving to this facility in St. Agnes here, is that a increase in square footage?
It's about the same, right?
You can, okay.
You state your name for the record first.
Dominique Casimir, Deputy Commissioner of Real Estate. A portion of the health center is moving to St. Agnes, to Constitution Health Center. The other portion will be moving to 1101 Market Street, as they have already.
Okay, so, but it will be well prepared for the increase of
Correct.
the need of healthcare because, Philadelphia it's growing its needs in the lack of healthcare service. So I would imagine that is all factored into, the purchase or lease of the new facility.
Absolutely, and the facility currently houses additional services that parlay very well with the STD clinic and the TB clinic that will be located there.
Okay, great. And I do see the health commissioner. I'm going to recognize the health commissioner is in the chambers here today if anyone has any questions. On this committee for the commissioner of public property and or the health commissioner, feel free to ask now. If not, anyone else here wishes to testify on bill number 171000. That being done, Commissioner, please, you can begin your testimony on 171011.
Sure. Good morning, Chairman Heenan and members of the Committee on Public Property and Public Works. My name is Bridget Collins Greenwald, and I am the Commissioner of the Department of Public Property. I'm here today to testify in support of Bill Number 171011, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to enter into an existing lease agreement with the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, otherwise known as SEPTA, for use by the city for a portion of the premises located at 1234 Market Street under certain terms and conditions. This property is approximately 12,387 square feet and will be used to consolidate and expand much-needed office space for the Office of Innovation and Technology, which currently holds space in both City Hall and 1234 Market Streets. Segregated OIT operations made it more difficult to manage citywide IT operations, so when the opportunity presented to expand spaces on the current floor which OIT operates its core functions and the space came fully furnished with much-needed cubicles and office space, the city entered into negotiations to amend the current lease. Moving OIT from City Hall also allows a number of much-needed departmental moves throughout the city to take place, including the consolidation of public property from 1515 Arch Street to City Hall, which will then free up space for the expansion and consolidation of the Law Department's Human Services Office and the move of the Police Advisory Commission and Town Watch from their current lease space. The base rent is $22.50 per square foot, with the city being responsible for its share of the common area costs. The amendment is coterminous with OIT's current lease in the building. The space was turned over in excellent condition. The Department of Public Property supports this measure, and accordingly, I respectfully ask that City Council approve Bill Number 171011. I'm requesting a suspension of the rules as to allow for the first reading at the next session of council. Thank you. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Commissioner. What's the current term for OIT that's over there now? So it's going to be coterminous. When would that expire?
2024. Yes, expires in 2024. And with options to renew. Sorry.
Okay, great. Anybody here on committee have any questions on Bill Number 171011? Anyone else here in the chambers today wish to speak on Bill Number 171011? All right, that being none, Commissioner, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
We will now end our public hearing on public property and public works and enter into our public meeting on the Committee of Public Property and Public Works. The chair recognizes Councilman Greenlee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer an amendment to Bill Number 170877. Copy of that amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee, and I move for the adoption of the amendment.
Second. All those, it's been moved and seconded and properly said. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The amendment to Bill Number 170877 is adopted. Chair recognizes Councilman Greenlee on the amendment to Bill Number 170999.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer an amendment to Bill Number 170999. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to members of the committee, and I move for the adoption of the amendment.
It has been moved and properly second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The amendment to Bill Number 170999 has been adopted. The chair recognizes Councilman Greenlee with the moving all the bills as amended with suspensions of the rules and to be heard at our next council session.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that bill numbers 170991, 170994, 170999 as amended, 171000, 171011, 171015, and bill number 170877 as amended be voted out of this committee with favorable recommendation, and I also move that the rules of council be suspended so to permit first reading of these bills at our next session of council. Second.
It has been moved and properly second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. These bills that are just reported out of committee as amended with the rule suspension to be heard at our next council session. I want to thank you all for attending our public hearing on public property and public works today. Have a good day.